Hi, my name is Julie Turner. I'm 29 years old and I come from Washington State. I grew up attending Sunday Mass and religious education every week with my family. And one week when I was about 7 years old, before I made my first communion, my grandpa Paul came to me in the church before Mass. He knew that I had been affected by some family issues, and he sat in the pew next to me and he pointed up at the tabernacle and he said, "Do you know what that red candle up there means?" And he explained to me that Jesus was there in the tabernacle waiting for me to come and to talk to him, and that I could tell him about all the things that were bugging me, the things that were making me happy, my hopes, my fears, whatever I wanted. So for the next couple of years, I would spend my time before Mass just talking with Jesus. Later on, I went to Central Washington University in Ellensburg, Washington, and I was planning on becoming a high school Spanish teacher. My second year at college, I started working as a peer minister at the Campus Ministry Center. And it had become a routine for my roommate and I to visit the Perpetual Adoration Chapel at the local parish a couple of nights a week, usually late at night. And I found myself falling more and more in love with God through these visits. One of these nights, as I knelt in prayer before the Blessed Sacrament, I had the distinct impression that Jesus was inviting me to consider religious life. And I had never even known any nuns, and so my first reaction was to say, "Uh-oh, I'm going crazy. Like, do people even do that anymore?" And I had just tried to put it out of my mind. But it seemed to become even more insistent. And as my friend and I left that chapel that evening, she asked me, "What happened in there?" And I played dumb and I said, "Nothing, why?" And she said, "Oh, well, I just kept feeling prompted to pray for you to be open to the Holy Spirit." And I went, "Oh, she's going crazy too." But the thought just wouldn't go away. Eventually, I began to research different communities and I decided to attend the National Catholic Student Coalition Conference in order to talk to some real nuns and to get some of my questions answered. When I was there, I met two nuns in blue habits, and they were the most entertaining and humorous and joyful women I had ever met. During the workshop they were running, one of the sisters made a comment about being married to Jesus, and it stunned me. I had heard people say that before on a general level, had talked about the idea, but the way that she said it and the joy that she said it with hit something deep inside of me. And I realized that's what the Lord was inviting me to way back on that night in the Adoration Chapel. After the presentation was over, I cornered the sisters, I asked them to chat, and I learned that they were daughters of St. Paul, that their mission was to evangelize through means of media and modern technology. And I also learned that they had a deeply Eucharistic spirituality. So I was hooked, and I decided to contact the vocation director and attend a retreat with them. And then I attended another, and then another. And I've spent the last 5 years working as a youth minister, but a few months ago, I couldn't ignore the promptings any longer. I began the application process, and I recently received the happy news that I've been admitted as a candidate with the Daughters of St. Paul. At this point, the only thing hindering my entrance to the community is my student debt. I've taken a second job as a religion teacher, and I'm working with the Labre Society in order to overcome this hurdle that's been placed in my life. And I'm inviting you to please make a gift to the Labre Society in support of vocations like mine. My classmates and I are working very hard to try to answer God's call, but we need your help. So I thank you in advance for your support and for your prayers, and please be assured of mine in my classes as well. God bless you.